College graduates are looking for jobs, so what are the current hiring trends? Let's bring in Jeff Sokolowski of Robert Half. Jeff, thank you for being here with us.
Thanks for having me, Terrence. And it's Sokolowski, but happy to be here.
Sokolowski, okay, sorry about that. So we know that these kids are looking for jobs this summer. What exactly are the trends in terms of what they're looking for?
Well, I think the market is showing it's a good time for new grads to be considering opportunities. What we've seen is according to the Bureau of Labor Statistics, there's 8.5 million open jobs across the United States currently. And based on our Robert Half research, 65% of employers are looking to hire new graduates through June of this year.
Okay, so that means that there's plenty of opportunities out there. What should these students be doing now if they are preparing to find some work?
Great question. I would start with what is their social media presence? Have they cleaned it up? If they're looking for professional jobs, is their social media demonstrating that they are professional and professionally oriented? How is their LinkedIn profile? Have they reached out to their career services from the universities? Universities are stakeholders in the students' success in graduation and placement rates. Is the resume current and updated? Does it articulate effectively the skills that they've learned while in school? Are they utilizing all the resources? Their friends, their family, their neighbors might have gateways into great new positions. So use every resource, be prepared, be active, be networking, be applying to new jobs. Look at companies that are interesting, apply to them. Ask the network or somebody via LinkedIn. There's all kinds of ways for a student to go about their job search.
Yeah, great tips. Definitely want to pay attention to that digital footprint. Jeff, are there any specific industries that are more likely to hire these graduates?
I can talk about the research that Robert Half has in the industries that we specialize in. So what I can see is maybe not industry specifically, but skill sets that are incredibly high demand. And I would measure that against the national unemployment rate. So through April of this year, we see the national unemployment rate at 3.9%. So a heat map would be any skill that unemployment is significantly below that number. So as a way of an example, a financial analyst right now, there's a 1.5% unemployment rate. Or a degreed staff accountant, there's a 2.9% unemployment rate. And for the technology professionals, we're seeing like a network or systems admin at a 0.6% unemployment rate. So 3.3% below the national average. Or lawyers is a 1% unemployment rate. Paralegals and legal assistants, 3.4%. And the HR professionals, a 1.7% unemployment rate. So I would target the areas where there is the highest need.
All right, also a good time to brush up on those interviewing skills. Anything specifically that students can start doing now to make sure that they are prepared and appear to be the best candidate?
Yeah, absolutely. So a good start would be, can they speak about every bullet point on their resume and tell their story? If they can't successfully do that, we would encourage that new grad to do some mock interviews. I know a lot of schools and career services host some mock interviews. I know Robert Half, I volunteered at other universities to help teach interviewing skills and techniques. Be prepared with great questions. A very simple way for a new grad to differentiate and distinguish themselves is prior to their interview, have they researched the company? We've seen 2 out of 3 hiring managers will be impressed with an applicant that took the time to understand what the company does, who they are, their mission statement, what their product or services are. So they already have a 66% leg up versus somebody that just randomly showed up unprepared. And then I would say practice, 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 mock interview, be able to articulate their skills and prepare for the hard questions. So a good example would be, what are you looking for from a salary standpoint? So prior to that question ever coming up, have they leveraged their resources to look at salary.com? Have they gone to the National Labor Relations Board and look at new salaries for new graduates? Or they've contacted recruiting firms like Robert Half and taken a look at our salary guide. So when that question comes up, they know what the ranges are paying for those specific positions.
Yeah, good to keep in mind. And mentioning the salary, What about negotiating? Is there anything to keep in mind there?
Absolutely. So if the initial offer is below what the median salary is, of course there's opportunities to negotiate. Or are they willing to look at, if they're not, the employer's not willing to negotiate initially, maybe they can do a delayed increase based on certain objectives or merits that that individual has contributed. And there are soft ways to ask for a raise, and there's hard ways. Hard ways like, I'm going to counter and I need this to accept, or hey, would you be willing to offer me an extra $3,000 because it's based on what I'm seeing on salary.com or Robert Half's salary guide.
And lastly, I know that sometimes it takes time and people can get discouraged in the wait. Any message there for people just in case they're one of those ones that don't seem to get something right away?
Yeah, be persistent. You're starting your career, so don't let no's or small obstacles deter you from what your vision and dreams are. I guess the old adage is the early bird gets the worm. Start early, stay long, put in the effort because you are investing in your long-term career. No is okay, but if an employer says no, it doesn't hurt to ask, hey, is there something that I did or I could do differently to demonstrate myself with other future employers? Or would you consider me for a future role if something else were available?
All right, definitely great information to keep in mind. Thank you so much.
Thank you.